I'm going to start this by showing off that I have a signed copy of this book. Can you see it? Yes. Now let's get into it. Hi, today we'll be reviewing This Motherless Land by Nikki. I first met Nikki through her book Wahala, and the thing about Wahala for me was I thought it was a feel-good book, but the ending, it's sort of like, I was like, I didn't really feel it. So let's discuss what This Motherless Land is about. This Motherless Land is about a particular character, and she's motherless. So yes, one thing about this book is the character growth. I like the fact that the two main characters, the two main female characters, they grew. Like, yes, one of them made a particular very difficult decisions. Liv made some very not so smart decisions, but I love how at the end she was able to pick herself up. Like I said, character development is very important to a story. But I'll say one thing, I don't think it's every character that develops, because in real life there's some people that just remain the same. They don't need to change. You see that bad attitude that they have, they just keep at it. They just keep at it. Like, there's nothing you can tell them in this life. There's no consequence that they will suffer in this that they will change, which is why I really appreciate the character development in this book. Now, Funke is a young lady, and things change in her life. She was in Nigeria, and then she has to move to Britain, and all of a sudden she realizes that Britain is not the way it has been painted to be. So in Nigeria, there's a way she used to have a bath in Nigeria, but in Britain, because where she was living at the moment, the people, they were not particularly wealthy, so they used to reuse water. It was just a terrible state to move to, because imagine having access to fresh water all day, and then you're moving to this city where everybody says is better than where you've been, and then you're like, I'm managing water. Interesting. And she was a very young person, so our reactions to some of these things were things any young person could do, because it's a new life. It's a life she wasn't properly briefed about, so she didn't know what to expect. And when she went there, nobody was really telling her that, oh, this is how life will be, but she adjusted real good. So when I was reading this book, it made me feel like I was drawing a distinction between Britain and Nigeria, because we see the distinction between when Funke resumes a Nigerian university and when Liv is resuming school. So we see the difference. It's like their worlds apart, where you have to figure out certain things by yourself. How uni is just so weird. And I mean, I could relate to that, because I went to a Nigerian university, federal government university, by the way. So it was like she was telling my story. I was like, because in Nigerian schools, well, what they did in my uni was that we went on a long walk to familiarize ourselves with the surroundings. We walked around the school, so they will point, oh, this is this place, this is that place. But how many people would store that in their head? And my school is a very big university. OAU, Obafemi Awolowo University, is a very big university. So imagine walking. I can't remember how long we walked that day, but I just knew it was a very long while. I don't even know where I stood, whether I even finished the walk with them. I can't remember. All I knew was it was just a very hectic thing, and for a fresher, just so that you can know your surroundings, it just felt very unnecessary, because I thought in my head that there was definitely going to be a better way. And when I read this book, I realized that some schools, they send out their campuses as maps, and I was like, well, there goes me for expecting so much from a Nigerian university, when I've been in Nigeria all my life. So I was like expecting something different. Yeah. The emotions in this book are deep. They run deep. So I remember when Liv figured out that this was her motherless land. I'm trying to get the page because I highlighted. That was the year I tried to start highlighting, so my highlighting isn't so very clear. I'm not proud of my highlighting. And then she realizes that, oh, this motherless land is, so this was my highlight. I don't know if you can see, it's very clear. Yes. So we say she searched that motherless land in vain. She looked for mom all over the ring, tried to find her by the lightning tree, sought her out at the folly, but she'd been in Lagos all along, in Billy's quack, in this waiter's voice. So she was like, this was where her mother had been all along. She didn't have to do so much to find her mother. This is where she's been all along, and this is where she's always been. Aside from Funke's development, I think Liv was the one that went through a transformation because she felt guilty, and her guilt drove her to doing desperate things, and her desperate actions just seemed to land her in more trouble. But she eventually picked herself up and made something of herself, which was very remarkable. And by making something of herself, I don't mean like she established something, but she made herself, she reinvented herself. Yes, and that's all for me for today. Bye. See you in another video.